The following may contain language which will be offensive to some people and inappropriate for children. Still here? Then pour your favorite beverage and let's get this fucking show started.
Fantastic Forum, assemble. You're listening to Fantastic Forum, the premier show about comic books and your live weekly conversation about entertainment and geek culture. We are the Fantastic Forum, coming to you live and direct from Fantastic Forum Studios, Los Angeles. Hope you're having a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, as the case may be, depending on where you are in the world. And if you're not, you should stick with us. We'll help you take it up a notch. You have the usual suspects in the building. First, he is our riddle, inside of an enigma, trapped in Chinese finger cuffs. You don't know him. You love him anyway. He's our silent assassin, Jay.
Hey, what's up?
Next, he's the backbone, the pillar, the strength of Fantastic Forum, our nigh invulnerable brawler and resident strongman, Moses Magnum.
What's up?
And as for myself, my name is Lawrence Young. They call me Mayor Young. Welcome to Fantastic Forum. Shout out to our intrepid senior reporter Oz. He's not here today, unfortunately, but it happens sometimes. So we'll get him next time. Maybe look right now. The Fantastic Forum feline Boston is trying to hop into my lap. So who knows? Maybe Boston will sit in for Oz this week because look, there he is in the background. You might have saw him. But anyway, welcome to Fantastic Forum. We got a great show for you today. We are going to be talking to you all about Star Wars, The Bad Batch, the latest Disney Plus series. We're also going to be talking to you all about the Star Wars War of the Bounty Hunter Alpha, which is the first part of that Star Wars comic book crossover. And we'll also be talking to you all about the comic published by Heavy Metal called FishKill. So we got all that, plus, of course, some news and whatever else it is you all want to talk about. I tell you, man, this guy was hanging out, was chilling, was fine. I started talking, and he's like, "Oh, we got a show? Oh,
There's toys back there."
Right? Yeah, I know, right? Like it's like, dude, he's never climbed up over that way. He's just trying to get on camera. He's like literally like the dude in the background when you're doing the news report.
Yeah.
And it's like, my guy, we went live, and all of a sudden you became active.
I love those. I love seeing those. Like I go online just looking at those. I love that, and it's almost worth 500,000 people dying just to get those.
Oh, sheesh, man! I tell you. Anyway.
Host.
Anyway, so if you want to get down with Fantastic Forum, we're going to tell you how to do it. Here's how.
Want to get in on the action? Call Fantastic Forum on Skype and join the fun. Too shy to call in? That's okay. You can join the Discord chat room available at
FantasticForum.live.
Join the party. You know you want to.
Indeed. Thank you, intern, for your stalwart work.
Was she too loud or too low for you guys?
She was
right for me.
Yeah, she sounded great to me as well.
Okay, for me,
in a non-sexual way.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you have to have that because Larry ruined it for everybody.
What? I didn't touch the intern.
That's the problem.
Oh,
it's that threat. No. You're using your control.
No, I'm sorry.
That's the problem with harassment.
I didn't know. Yeah. I didn't know.
Curious and unsexual stuff. Tiger Clan chat. What's up, Fantastic Forum? What are your thoughts on the Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins teaser trailer? Looks like they are setting up a G.I. Joe cinematic universe. Larry Hama is an executive producer on it.
G.I. Joe cinematic universe. So that would mean that we're getting individual G.I. Joe movies along with collective G.I. Joe movies? Is that what that's what that would be? Like the next joint will be Flint?
As long as they stop killing off characters, then I'm fine.
Who did they kill?
Trailer.
They killed off Magic Mike so that The Rock could be the leader.
Oh,
Instead of just doing a movie with The Rock, they killed off Magic Mike. And it's like, you didn't have to do that. It's G.I. Joe. Like, there are hundreds of characters. You can take any squad you want and, do your thing. There's no need to kill people off.
This is how you know Joe's fake mad, because he doesn't know the name of that character. He doesn't know what he doesn't even know Channing Tatum's name, let alone the character that he's supposedly mad about got killed off.
It's not like an angry mad. It's unnecessary. It just felt really unnecessary. And like the decision to not say Yo Joe, I
feel you on that.
It's not, I like G.I. Joe. Like, I'm definitely not as into it as even I want to be. Like, I've been meaning to...
Got to work harder to be more into G.I. Joe, Joe.
Right. I do. Like, I honestly feel that. Like, every time I'm on Comixology, I'm like, man, I should go get all those IDW G.I. Joes and, like, just binge. But there's always never enough time or money or... It's just, yeah.
Look, Mo, I feel like we cut you off. I apologize, friend. Go for it.
No. I was saying that it wasn't Channing Tatum Duke, which Heck goes on to say. And Joe, I can see Joe's like anger not being an angry. It's more like a simmer instead of an explosion, and it's more of like an annoyance. Like, why did they need to kill him off just to have the Rock movie? Like exactly what he said. It's like having a shared universe of G.I. Joe, which is like calling it a shared universe is too much. Because really, you could just do movies with different squads, and it's just like the cartoons do,
Mm-hmm.
I do know, but at the same time, how do we know that Channing Tatum wasn't feeling a way about The Rock being brought in? Maybe he's like, "Hey, if The Rock's in, I'm out," and they're like,
"Leave him out." Like,
yeah,
there's no need to do anything with the character.
Look, and here's the thing: if you cut him out and he's out, then it's like, okay, then you can still have Duke later on and have somebody else do it.
No, but see, this is crazy talk. Like, you can't mess around and have Duke as a character in a G.I. Joe movie universe, and he's just not around. Like, Duke is one of the main Joes. Like, Duke, if there's a Duke, then the question is, where's Duke? And if Duke's not there, Duke, like, there's no reason. If they're fighting Cobra, Duke should be there unless something happened to Duke.
Look, it could be,
and that's why it's like something have to happen to Duke.
It could be like one of those Star Trek movies. It's like G.I. Joe 4, The Hunt for Duke, and you don't get them. It's like
you don't get them.
The Klingons, the Cobra are like, we fooled you. He's not even here. Like at the climax, he's gone. They open the cell and he's gone. It'll be like a Saw type twist.
Look, I own all 7 seasons of the G.I. Joe cartoon. There are plenty of episodes with no Duke.
Well, come on, man. There are plenty of episodes with no Duke over 7 seasons, but are there more episodes with Duke or more episodes without Duke? Be honest. How many episodes? Like, not how many, but are there more Duke? Are there more episodes with Duke or more without Duke?
Here's the thing. I've actually been meaning to take a tally.
Oh, Joe, you have to take no tally. You watched the show. You watched the show like I watched the show.
He's been trying to take a tally since the first G.I. Joe movie came out. Channing Tatum not coming back.
No, it's not that. Like, I don't remember when I had an idea for a project that I wanted to do that involved knowing who was in what episode of G.I. Joe. And I haven't gotten around to doing that project yet, but I am going to be rewatching and making a tally of what character was in what episode, who got kidnapped, who was a rescuer. Like It's for a project that I'm kind of planning. Like, it might not pull through. Like, I still haven't even done the tally. But the tally is the first part of that.
But
Like,
look,
we could do the
that
tally
has to say what?
We could do the tally right now. Just Google how many episodes. Oh well, no. Who wasn't what? Yeah, it's gonna take a little more.
I mean, yeah, but look, there has to be a G.I. Joe fan that's already done this. Like G.I. Joe's popular enough that I know that obviously, if nothing else, you have like I understand like the wiki is a different thing because you're almost talking about like a spreadsheetish like almost like an infographic for
Right.
G.I. Joe, right? And I get that. I'm not saying the infographic exists, but I know if I'm sure Mo's probably right. Like if you Google how many episodes is Duke in, I bet you a number comes up. and you can just take that number and subtract it from the total number of episodes, and then we know exactly if there were more Duke episodes or not. But I don't need to do that because Duke, it's Duke. Come on, man. Like why are we playing? Why are we playing like Duke is not the important one? He's the one they tried to kill in the movie.
Dude, there are so many episodes of G.I. Joe that you don't remember because you weren't a G.I. Joe head like that you've forgotten. It's like,
okay,
yeah, Duke is important, but especially in the later seasons, they just wanted to focus on selling some of the other toys. So you got a lot of episodes that didn't have Duke. Like, there actually might be a whole season where Duke doesn't show up.
No, I believe that. Like, especially if you're talking about the end, it would not surprise me if season 6 and season 7 is Duke light, because they're like, dude, we sell enough Duke toys. Let's sell some Sergeant Slaughter toys, or let's sell some, ninja more. Well, not the ninjas, because the ninjas are popular too. But I get it. But what I'm saying is,
well,
at
Jinx
least
wasn't popular.
Okay, but I'm saying at least 4 of those 7 seasons are Duke heavy. And if 4 of those 7 seasons are Duke heavy, that means he was in more episodes than he wasn't in, probably.
Look, 60%.
I know he was a gladiator in the Cobra Arena like twice.
Twice. They had the Cobra Arena twice?
They had the Cobra Arena a few times.
Oh, geez, man. Listen, Duke is the king of the Cobra. He's the friggin' Maximus of Cobra Arena. He's like, are you not entertained? Yo, Joe!
But back to the original question. What did you guys think of the trailer? The teaser?
I have not seen it. Because Joe's right. I'm not a G.I. Joe head like that, apparently.
I didn't watch it. It's Snake Eyes.
Because Joe's not a G.I. Joe head like that either, despite his
being a Bumblebee
besmirching my name.
Right. Being a Snake Eyes fan is almost like being a Bumblebee fan. It's like, you guys don't know.
Nah, that's not true. That's wrong. Being a Snake Eyes fan is like being a Wolverine fan. It's like it's not like a Bumblebee fan is like you're like, okay. Oh, that's not right, Mo. You didn't have to do that. No, I'm just saying, like, I feel like a Bumblebee fan, like, I'm not trying to say that you're less of a Transformers fan, because I don't believe that.
Oh,
but what I will say is I know that you're a new Transformers fan. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, okay, like you've been a Transformers fan since the 2000s, which is okay. I'm not saying, and here's the thing, it's different. Like, if you're born in 99, of course you're a Transformers fan of the 2000s, right? It's like you weren't alive. But there's some cats that like are our age or whatever, or my age, that are like, oh yeah, man, that Bumblebee. And it's like, you don't have no excuses, man. You were there. You could have liked Transformers like for real, but you chose to be one of those fans.
Tiger Clan chat says the movie will have Snake Eyes talk. So fuck this movie.
It's an origin, like a prequel.
Right.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's bullshit.
Snake Eyes used to talk, right? And then he stopped.
we've never seen him talk, and in a lot of iterations, he loses his voice as a child.
I'll give you that. I think you're right.
Like a kid when he normally it's like an accident, a training accident where the sword gets his throat.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, yeah, fuck this movie.
Well,
Especially when I actually just watched a movie with a silent protagonist. And it was so much fun and so crazy, so awesome. It's Willy's Wonderland, where Nick Cage is the silent protagonist in a movie where he goes into a Five Nights at Freddy's type joint.
Oh,
Animatronics try to kill him.
Why haven't you put the trailer in our pre-production text? Like, I would love to see this.
I will, I don't know why I didn't do it, but I just watched it and I was planning to do a video on it, but I've heard people have been getting like struck for real showing footage. And so I would need to find a way to work around that.
I feel like I need to watch that too.
Send me the footage. We could interlace it and make it into like a slideshow, but like a fast, like, 13 frames per second. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And we could try that.
But yeah, it's great. Like, he doesn't say a word. Like, he does grunt and like scream like when he's fighting, but like the closest thing he comes to a word is like like when he's playing pinball.
That's the best. That's the best impression of Nick Cage ever.
It's like it's so good, and yeah, like so you could do a movie with the silent protagonist.
I agree with you, and I just want to say that the idea of Nick Cage primarily doing face acting, yeah. It's like I feel like it's a cult classic already. Oh, dude, I can't wait. I want to see it. I hope I can handle it.
Look, we're gonna have to videotape you watching.
That's fair. We should just all watch it together.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
But we'll be the silent characters. Larry just does the play-by-play of his terrifying. Like, speaking of getting hit with the copyright thing. Well, look, let me finish by saying that I enjoyed the teaser for Snake Eyes. I thought it was a Marvel movie. Like, I thought it was Shang-Chi. Like, that's how good the trailer looked in quality. And then I realized it wasn't Shang-Chi. I'm like, oh, I'm glad. Like, somebody else is doing good stuff. Yeah. I still haven't seen the teaser. Like, I don't know. I heard Shang-Chi like is canceled already.
I mean, listen, aren't we all? What?
The other guy. Oh, yeah, that's the other guy I'm thinking of. No, but, yeah, people get canceled all the time. That's not even news anymore. Like, you could do anything and get canceled.
But look, you just have to be famous. That's why we haven't been canceled.
Right.
Oh, I got canceled.
Like,
but I'm back. As
soon as you get famous, people are gonna go through our old shit, and I'm immediately gonna be canceled. Like,
look, I think the cancel culture people are too lazy to go through our shit. Like,
I guess it depends on how big we get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New shit.
I did get away with the avoiding a strike for our video Hereditary, which is Larry forced to watch Hereditary trailer, and all I did was change the color. Like, I just saturated the blues more, like one stop. And
does A24 strike people?
I don't know. I figured they would, because I mean I played the whole trailer, and the audio from the trailer wasn't the audio that you hear of the movie in there. It's actually the audio from Larry's phone that you hear. So maybe that had something to do with it, but we can figure something out.
Yeah, I figured they would be cool with people talking about their stuff. Like,
It's
not
also
a small studio, but
yeah,
they've got that indie spirit.
and they put good stuff too, so they want people to talk about it. So
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I'll go ahead.
Oh, what were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna kiss A24's ass a little, but yeah.
You good?
No,
It was really pretentious.
I'm sorry.
Their last movie was actually really pretentious.
Which one? The dinner party or something?
No, the one In the Earth.
In there, I never heard of it.
Oh, yeah, it was in theaters recently. Like, I think it just left theaters like 2 weeks ago.
What is it about?
This guy goes camping to look for his ex, and he stumbles across his like a guy who's like trying to communicate with the trees, and then he meets his wife, and she's also trying to communicate with the trees, and the trees like talk back, and it's like a lot of strobe light effects, and it's like hard to look at because of all the strobes. And the guy gets his like part of his foot cut off eventually. But it's like, it's okay. Like, you can feel the pretension in the movie, but I will admit it has like one of the funniest lines where one of the characters asked to be taken to a hospital is like, in context, it's really, really funny.
Oh, but you're not gonna tell us so you don't spoil it?
Well, okay, I could tell it. Plus, you'll probably like this part. So basically, the guy was walking barefoot and his foot got infected. And so they run into this guy and he's like, well, we're going to have to like chop off the foot. And he's like, no, just take me to a hospital. And he's like, no, I can't do that. Like, there's no time. I'm just going to chop it off. And he's like, no, just take it. Like, just take me to a hospital. Like, he's like begging him. And he's like, no. And he just starts chopping his foot off with the axe. And then later, that guy gets like shot with like an arrow. And he's like, hey, you guys need to take me to a hospital. And then they kill him.
And then they kill him?
Well, he's just chopping people's foots off, man. He's a bad guy. I mean,
I
why
love
he
it.
got shot with the arrow in the first place?
I'm so mad that you said foots. I'm so mad at you from that. It's okay. It felt right though. I can't be mad that you said it because it sounded right, but I know it's wrong. I know it's wrong. All right. Okay. Let's go ahead and get started because we got a lot of show to get through today. What do you all feel like starting with? You want to do?
Let's do fish first.
You want to do FishKill first?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah. So FishKill. This is part of a mode.
Oh wait, you're not gonna do music?
Oh yeah, I guess I could do that.
You should do music, man. We got the music.
All right, where is this music?
Vamp. No, wait, do that face again, though. Do that face again. I love it. That's
not like that, but like. I'm using the porn laptop to do the show, and it's so big that if I put the screen up, so it's I have to lay it down. So in order to see things, I have to, be an old man.
I love it. I love that people are gonna be like, did he say porn laptop?
You'd have to join our pre-production text.
Right,
chat.
exactly.
If you do the highest tier on our Patreon, the $1,000 a month, you can take part in our pre-production text.
Wait, is the highest? Is it $1,000 a month? Oh my god!
Yeah, you get to be part of the pre-production crew. Look, some better shit happens in that pre-production text that does on air.
Oh, I agree 100%.
Like that could actually be its own show. Like I've been transcribing it, and I'm trying to pay somebody to animate it because it could be like with voiceover and everything because it's its own show.
Oh, dude, it is good stuff. I can't lie.
Every now and then, whenever like the exchange goes like 2, 3, or everybody comes, I'm like, save it for the air because it's like you're blowing the good load right there.
There it is. There it is.
But FishKill is.
So you said it was part of what?
It's part of a Humble Bundle deal that is supposed to be a
Here comes the money.
Here we go.
More money, more money, more money, more money.
Dollar, 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 dollar.
He set you up.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I didn't record that Mo deal in time, and it's actually I believe it runs out today. Right now the you got 16 hours to do this. So let me see if I I'm gonna send the link here to you guys so you guys can post it in our comments.
Okay.
And let's see, page.
Moses, you can't keep making that face.
Why?
Oh, jeez, man. I feel like you just need like the little glasses, like like you need the little glasses, and that just completes the whole thing. There it is. Oh, there. It's so funny with the nose ring too. It's like without the nose ring, somebody might be like, "Oh, I guess like that guy's looking for something." But with the nose ring, it's like, dude, there's no way that guy makes that face on a regular basis. There's no way. Like.
I'm at Joe. If you could actually pull the screen up that I'm sharing right now.
Oh, too funny, man.
This is the actual page. It's Humble Bundle. Humble Bundle doesn't do the best job of making shit easy to find, but you'll be supporting the Hero Initiative, which is a cause that's near and dear to my heart. Because it pays people that work in comics that can't get health insurance. Like I was passionate about Hero Initiative before. You could actually search Fantastic Forum Hero Initiative on YouTube, and you'll find videos of us interviewing the then head of Hero Initiative from the beginning at one of our first shows. Because, and then now that I'm self-employed and I have to figure out how to do my health insurance and shit, like it's even more important to me. And I went without even doing the Mo deal. I went and bought everything. But yeah, you can pay $1 here. And you can unlock the Brooklyn Gladiator, FishKill, Heavy Metal 276, Sun Eater by Dylan Sprouse, which is a name you've heard in comics here on Fantastic Forum. We reviewed his work. And then Tarna #1 by Stephanie Phillips and Patrick Searcher. Tarna is, I believe, the character from the original Heavy Metal movie. And they gave her a new series. They revived her series and explored her story more. So you'll get that for $1. If you go down the line here, you pay $10 or more. You can unlock all those books plus Heavy Metal 261, What's It Book 1, Brooklyn Gladiator 2 and 3, Chasing the Dragon, Cold Dead War by George C. Romero, Never Never, the rest of the Tarna books. And you go further down the line, you get all that plus EVA #1, a bunch of heavy metal comics, like magazines, including Grant Morrison takes over. He does all the stories in that issue. And I've been actually trying to cut down that issue. That's one of the ones that made me want to get it. And then the Heavy Metal 286, which is the Stories of Magic, which is another Grant Morrison heavy metal. Now, if you've read, Doom Patrol or watched Doom Patrol or, liked Grant Morrison doing Green Lantern when we reviewed it or whatever. That's all fine and dandy. But when you get him unleashed on heavy metal, it's going to be a bunch of crazy shit. Like these 2 books alone are worth this tier price of $18. And then at 25 you get that on top of a bunch of other heavy metal issues, including what I believe is there's a music issue which has stories based on bands. That's actually in an $18 tier right here. This is one right here, and it basically has Ozzy Osbourne, Motley Crue, Rob Zombie, Nine Inch Nails. I was actually hunting down for an issue that has the band Behemoth in it, and I don't think this one is, but I'm still maybe a Humble Bundle will bring that. But either way, you'll be doing it for a good cause, and we'll be reviewing one of the books that we got here that is done by one of a dude that's like, I want to say one of my favorites, because I just love this guy, Dan Fogler. He wrote FishKill. He wrote another book in there called Moon Lake, Brooklyn Brawler, and there might be another one in there, but there's a couple books that are published by heavy metal that are Dan Fogler verse. Like they're all connected. And the Brooklyn Gladiator deals with some of the events that happen in FishKill here in that environment, this police martial law state of New York. It continues over in Brooklyn Brawler, I believe. Now, I knew that was the tease when they told you that Dan Fogler is coming to heavy metal.
Allegedly.
They said that he was working on a universe, but I didn't realize how extensive. But right when I opened the first page, and I do this as a just a gesture, because really, like, you get this shit on PDF, you can share with your friends if you want. But I really just did this number, and I could see the page, and it was really I saw those guards, the same guards. You know, it was a different artist, but the guard design was just so striking in when Ben Templesmith did it in FishKill, and I saw them. I'm like, this has got to be in the same universe.
Oh, that's cool.
I didn't get to actually read it, but that's my supposition based on looking at the art of the first page. But FishKill is the story of I want to say disgraced New York City detective that gets suspended and brought down because he has anger issues, and he used a little too much abuse of power in apprehending a guilty person that he knew kind of was going to get off based on the way the system works and his warped sense of justice, because it is a warped sense of justice. It's not, it's not a healthy sense of justice. It goes into, his background, this dude Bart FishKill, and now he's relegated, if I can use this term here, to work a bridge. Just this one iconic New York bridge that he doesn't feel particularly good of protecting. And then a terrorist attack happens and forces New York to go into a state of martial law. He gets blamed for it because of his past and his disgruntled or perceived disgruntledness. And some people rally behind him as like somebody that is a revolutionary or an icon that they can stand behind for progress and change in the way things are done, and other people see him as a villain. And this story is, now saying this, it's not as straightforward when you read it. It's very kind of almost psychedelic and introspective, and when I first read it, I was like, this is a little too trippy. Like, it's almost like to rely on that trippiness to not give you a full free form flowing type of story.
Right.
It's like, if you're a writer that's not confident in your writing skills, you can rely on this. However, if you're a good writer, you can do this and stretch it out and keep people wanting to come back for more. Which is kind of what happens here. But my mind was kind of in between when I actually read it. And I watched the movie today that kind of did the same thing, and it felt like this feels like that. And this was done in a way that I wouldn't want to say masterfully, because it was really just ripping off Hitchcock. But it's like, if this book was like a Hitchcock movie, we'd be like watching, learning about it in film class. Yeah. So that watching that movie elevated this book for me, that experience, and I liked it more. I went back and read it again just to refresh. But yeah,
Real quick, Mo, what movie was that?
it was called The Woman in the Window.
Oh, gotcha.
It's a team up between Lois Lane, Falcon, Johnny Walker. Yeah, they all team up to fight like psychosis.
Got it. Jay, you read FishKill. What was your Just give me your abbreviated take as far as like impression wise on the FishKill comic.
I wasn't really feeling it. The art style, they got us really stylized art that sometimes work and sometimes doesn't. The colors are great, like when they use the oranges and reds, like all of those panels look really good. The character, standard. The story, pretty standard too. Yeah.
There it is. Look, Jay, I'll wait for him to just at the end be like, long story short, not impressed. I was waiting for it to happen, but it didn't happen. That's okay. It's okay.
If it wasn't for colors.
If it wasn't for colors, not impressed. Got it. So the colorist MVP. So I will say, reading FishKill, I found it really interesting, but at the same time, it wasn't good. which is, like, might be a strange statement, but it's just one of those things where, especially like, I feel like the first issue was actually pretty well done, and it definitely gives you enough to like introduce you to this character. I mean, Temple Smith's art is definitely stylized, like Jay said, but personally, I enjoy it. I think like it's not for everyone, but for me, I like it a lot, and I like what Temple Smith does with characters. But the story, I feel like if you're talking strictly issue 1, which I read more than the first issue, but if you're talking strictly issue 1, I think it's like actually a really interesting and good book. And unfortunately, I feel like it doesn't deliver after that. And so, because I was compelled to keep reading, I was a little disappointed by like how the story kind of ends up panning out, just because it feels like it promises a lot more in the first issue than what you end up getting. But at the same time, it's not like I can't like it. Like, it's funny because when you mentioned I was watching the movie and I was like, is there a FishKill movie? This feels like a book that someone could make a movie of, and the movie might actually be better than the book.
Right.
Because the concepts are great and the characters are interesting. It's honestly just a matter of how it chooses to move through the plot that is actually kind of the problem. And like, even with what you were saying, Mo, where you're kind of talking about like how it kind of has like a bit of a psychedelic kind of thing going on. And it's like, yeah, I would agree with that 100%. And it's 100, like, it's very interesting. Like, I like, full disclosure, there's 4 issues that are out at this point, which comprises book 1. I read all 4 of them. So take that as into account when I'm saying the things that I'm saying, because it's not like I didn't read the books. I wanted to keep reading despite the other things that I was trying to say. But it's interesting because like it's Fogel And I'm sorry, Fogler. I apologize, Fogler. Look, it's Dan Fogler, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Like his acting work, I'm a big fan of, and I feel like the dude is very underrated.
You're not a fan of him.
How am I not a fan of him?
You never watched the Typo Negative music video?
Why do I have to watch a music video to be a fan of his?
That's where I discovered him. And
I'm like, why is Balls of Fury not enough?
Balls of Fury is amazing.
Okay.
The way he does, and this is the thing, he's like,
I'm just saying, like, Balls of, if I watch Balls of Fury and connect him with that, that's a fan.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah, he is.
You know the scene I talk about, right, Larry? Where he's like,
absolutely, yeah. It's good stuff, and I'm just saying, like, he's a dude that a lot of people probably dismiss, and he's in a lot of movies.
Before any movies, he won like 3 Tony Awards for his stage work.
Really? No, I did not know that.
And the first acting thing he ever did was that Typo Negative video.
Really?
I believe so. Yeah.
Why do you dude? Like, did you grow up with him or something? Like,
no. When first of all, that Typo Negative song is so unstereotypically Typo Negative, and it's a really good song. It's like their pop song, and it's by no means a pop song, but it's their pop song. Like a Typo pop song, it'd be that. And the video was just so good, and the guy in it, like, he made the video. And
nice. I'm about to go check it out right after the show.
Who is this guy? Like, where else is? Because he didn't say a word. He just acted. And like, he was a physical comedian actor.
Yeah.
And does he do stand up? And I started researching, and he's like, he did one TV spot somewhere, and he had a couple like awards for stage work, like Shakespearean type shit. I don't know. I don't do that, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, and dude, and then from then I've just been watching his star rise. And there's a comic called Moon Lake that he does on here, and he did this on Archaea. I want to say like 10 years ago, and it was gone because Archaea, you know how that went.
Yeah,
and that's, I couldn't find it, and it's here in this Humble Bundle deal. So this is
wow.
Moon Lake was the book that I wanted to get because I was already a big fan of his, and I saw him at Comic-Con, and I'm like, in the airport. I was going up to your room at the Hyatt, and I see him in the elevator, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing here at Comic-Con? He's like, well, I like comics, and I'm actually promoting a comic. Like, oh, I got to stop by and get it. I never did, and then the Comic-Cons are blur a lot.
You're right. Hey, I'm not mad at you, brother.
So, and here we are. So that's look. I didn't want to derail everything, but this just
no, you're not derailing. This is all context.
This Humble Bundle deal, as part of the Mo deal, was one of the best things, was getting Dan Fogler's work in the digital format.
And listening to you talk about the fact that Brooklyn, what is it? Brooklyn
Brawler.
Brooklyn Brawler.
Brooklyn Gladiator.
Brooklyn Gladiator. Thank you. Like, when you're like, oh, Brooklyn Gladiator takes place in the same world that FishKill does, I'm like, I want to read that.
Yeah.
And that's the thing where it's like, understand, like, the criticism I have isn't like a criticism where, like, hey, don't waste your time. Yeah. It's not what I'm trying to say. And I don't know, like, in the same way that I didn't know that Fogler apparently was a stage actor, which makes a lot of sense because he's great as an actor. Like I said, not given nearly enough credit for all the stuff that he does. Like, he's you can tell, like, they always say comedy is the easy stuff. I mean, is the hard stuff. It's like drama. If you can do comedy, you can do drama. And it's like, okay, like, I believe, like, he has a lot of potential that people probably aren't realizing because he did comedy first.
Yeah. But
it's like there's a lot of great ideas and characters to be mined from FishKill. And like I said, I felt compelled to keep reading the book and I did, and I didn't come away from it feeling like I wasted my time or anything like that. It was just the promise from issue 1 didn't feel fully realized. However, I don't know if Brooklyn Gladiator was before or after FishKill, but either way, it's kind of like I know he had a co-writer on FishKill, and I didn't get the opportunity to kind of figure out who that person was, like to do any like pre-production or any research, because I was interested, but I didn't have the time, and I kind of feel like there was a part of me that was assuming because he was an actor that the co-writer was there to like kind of like help him. Yeah. But I could be wrong about that. But I feel like the co-writer didn't do, like the co-writer / editor didn't do the job that they were supposed to do, because I feel like there's a little bit like there, like once you get past issue 1, there's like a little bit of like, well, why is this like panning out the way that it is? And even though the actual events of the comic itself are interesting and definitely like, you know, are enough, it's like it kind of felt like it needed a guiding hand to kind of be like to make it a cohesive story so that you could just go through it and be like, oh, this is great.
And that's where I was gonna say, when you talk about like it's not good, it's not that it's bad, it's just executed. It could be executed better. And I think part of it, because it is an independent book, you know, Heavy Metal, when it came out, Heavy Metal had gone through a transition. Like Kevin Eastman sold his share in it and somebody took it over, and they're trying to do all these things to really, like, you know, they created the Virus comic line in pandemic, you know, they got, you couldn't subscribe to them. So because I was trying to get it, you know, I like reading Heavy Metal magazine. I'm like, you know what? I'm in a position to have them mailed up to my house. You know, I'm done. You know, and you couldn't do that. And it's changing. Like it almost looked like they were going under. And I think, you know, from a different editor, like if these 3 books that I read, and I assume the 4 that Joe read, I don't know how far you read, Larry, but I think if we take all those, put them in one thing, kind of reshuffle them, and then make 4 issues again, we could have a better flow with the existing story, not even taking things out. Like I feel like some things in issue 2 would have been better at like the first third of the first issue. You know what I mean?
I can see that. I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, you're right. Like it literally is just about like reshuffling some things. And don't get me wrong, there's some holes. Like there's some places like at this point, I still don't understand why they are accusing FishKill of the attack. I read 4 issues.
Yeah.
Which is all the issues that are available to this point. And I'm just like, I get that they're blaming him, but why? Like what's the evidence that like connects him? Like is someone setting him up? Like that's easy for me to believe in the world they set up. Like I don't need
there.
Say again?
I thought it was just because he was there.
But they thought he died in the explosion, right?
And there was a ton of people. Yeah.
Yeah, there were a lot of people there that died. So like what is it about him specifically that's like, well, he killed everybody?
His like he
don't like him.
Yeah. But
that's not enough, right? Like if I'm like, oh man, you know what? FishKill's a bastard, so he's probably the one that blew up the bridge.
I mean, that's how I think.
Yeah, but you understand how like that's not enough evidence to be like, yeah, it was him, for everybody to be like, man,
for
FishKill.
Not in court, but in the court of public opinion, that's kind of enough.
No, it's not, dude. Like right now, like who is so reviled right now in reality that you would just be like, if they got blown up in an explosion, you'd be like, they probably the ones that did it. Like
Obama.
if they die, if you thought they died in an explosion, wait, who? You said Obama?
Yeah, or Hillary Clinton. Like, the type of people that would execute somebody in a court of public opinion would be like, yeah.
Like I can't think of that one person without at least like it doesn't have to be a lot of evidence. It can be like circumstantial evidence. But what I'm saying is, in the course of this comic, they didn't tell us like what it is that made it so that news people would report that this guy is the guy that blew up the bridge. And it's kind of like that's a mistake that somebody should have caught. Like, or at least I don't remember it. Like I read them, but I don't remember it. And I don't know if maybe you all do. I get it. Like they like
I don't know. For police is like, well, I don't like that guy.
Well, the thing is, they also show the chief of police.
The news. He's like, hey, it was FishKill. Like, he was there, and he has a problem with authority, and he killed a lot of people. Like that.
He killed a lot of people when
with the bomb. Like, I'm saying, if you're the police chief and you're telling the news that he hates authority, and you basically paint this picture of the homegrown terrorist, and he kind of fits.
Like I
don't like someone, he's easy to set up.
I don't think in what we saw, I get what you're saying, Joe, because I can kind of see that. But in what we saw in the book, they didn't paint the picture well enough. And that's not even the police chief's fault. That's like the creative team or editor.
Right.
You know, like if he would have used more flowery language in the scene where he's talking to the news, it would have been different. You know, and the whole thing with the senator too, like that's a whole thing. Like I felt so. One of the detriments of buying this comic digitally is because there's a page in the first issue that goes this wide.
Yeah.
You get it like this. So you read it and then you read the next one and it's like, no, I got to read these both together.
Right.
And you know, if you were on a Comixology, I don't know, maybe I'll buy it just to compare it. But in a Comixology book that you would buy for $4 or whatever, which is like what 1/6 of what you get in this humble bundle deal, thanks to your Mo deal. You would get that full page as one page.
Right.
Yeah, it's like the third or fourth page in. It's when he's putting out the reward for finding the daughter.
Yeah. I know what page you're talking about and where they like it's basically the TV, like he's talking on the TV. And you know, And you're right. Like, you know, it breaks it up weird.
Yeah.
And you know, it's weird because as a comic app, it should do better. It should like
the thing is they gave you the scans they had in their office, not what they give to like a comic.
Oh, I got you. Like
I know I read since I'm behind on heavy metal magazines, I haven't read them in about 6 years.
Oh wow.
The earliest magazine that is in this humble bundle deal, thanks to your Mo deal, is like what 261. So I read that, and this was before Kevin Eastman sold off his share, so it still has the page to like. I'm like, I'm gonna print it out, see if I can fill out and send a check and get 3 years worth of magazines. But that was actually just scanned, like it's creased, like they put it in your
right.
scanner. Like it's not a high res like digital scan that you would get in a PDF. You know.
Yeah.
So the art like is blurry and it's not the best art possible. But I'll let. It was the only one that's like that. But
right.
You're getting probably what they gave their printers, not their layout. Yeah.
Let me ask you all this question. What's your take on the main character? And I think well, look, I guess I'll ask you first, Mo. Like the main character, Bartholomew FishKill is his name. So Bart FishKill, if you want to go there, or just FishKill, because most people do call him FishKill, I think. He's a ex-soldier. I don't know if he's like. I don't think they say whether he's like an army or Marines, but he's definitely like an infantry or I guess a frontline dude.
Mm-hmm.
So he was a soldier. He became became a police officer and got the rank of detective. And then got busted down to like the beat level with the bridge, like Jay had, or I guess I don't remember if it was Jay or you that mentioned that, but this is the main character here, and the comic is called FishKill because that's his last name. How did you feel about Bartholomew FishKill, Moses?
It's a strange character because he's not dumb,
No,
but he comes off as deficient, and part of it could be mental illness or trauma,
right? Yeah, definitely.
which is something that they explore here with the meds and everything, and that's where that movie kind of like brought me here. It's like, okay, if this was a movie and it was chopped up like this, then it would pay off, at the hour and 10-minute mark. You know what I mean?
Right.
Which is like your issue 5 or 6. So I'm waiting for those. Which it just made me it actually, that watching that movie, which it was an okay movie. I didn't enjoy it as much as I would like a Hitchcockian influenced movie. But it elevated like this book by a point for me because it's like, okay, this is like that. They're trying to do that in comics, and, so I can appreciate that effort, even though the execution was like that. But the character himself is actually, I kind of identify with him a little bit. His sense of justice, his sense in, even though he's trying to work within the system, he doesn't trust it.
Right.
But he's doing what he does because of his beliefs, and he gets consequences for it. And so I kind of like that a lot. I like his innate nature, that even though his dad was a piece of shit to him, he could see in him that it's like you're looking where you need to be looking, so follow that. And that's something. Look, it's almost verbatim shit that happened to me as a little kid. So for me, it was like he has a different body fat percentage than me, so I didn't identify with him enough. Well, other than that, like I like, oh man, this feels a little familiar to me.
Right.
I didn't go the way he goes because I didn't even get to go to the military because that's how my problems with authority are. Yeah. So I didn't get to do any of that. But it's he sees the things that other people don't see. And then when he takes it for granted, he gets, because he saw the guy that blew it up.
Right.
He saw him. You're gonna be spoilers. No, it's in the first page, second page.
Right.
He saw him, and he even had his traumatic experience with his dad beating it into his head. Like, pay attention. Like, you're supposed to pay attention right here, right now, in this panel of this comic. You're supposed to pay attention. And then, fuck out of here, Dad. Like, yeah, my meds. And then it's like the meds were actually numbing his ability to pay attention, because his craziness is his fucking superpower. Yeah,
right.
It's perception. It's numbing his perception. It's narrowing his field of view. And I mean, Larry, my story with my dad and his whole thing and hereditary aspect of it. So it's kind of like it's a little too close to home for me.
Right.
Dan Fogler's been reading my diary.
Jay, how about you, man? Same question. How'd you feel about Bartholomew FishKill?
It was okay. Like, he didn't come off as special to me.
Okay.
Like, I know I'm not supposed to do this, and I didn't really do it, but I kind of did a little bit. But it's like, I was reading this and I was like, man, I wish I was reading Black Sad. Like, that has an interesting character. cool ass noir world, and it's like this is just a druggie, like a PTSD guy, and he's okay, like
Yeah.
but he doesn't. They advertise this as noir, but he's like the noir where he's like the other end of noir, where it's not like slick or cool or
Right.
interesting. It's more of a gritty, not gritty, but just a more of a like I don't know what to call it, but he's on the side of noir where it's just kind of grimy, and it wasn't necessarily doing anything for me. Like, and that's kind of like this whole world, honestly. It's like grimy noir, which is okay. It's just not great, and it's not necessarily what I'm looking for. And I didn't prepare this screenshot, but there's a page that perfectly sums up like what I'm talking about, where he meets the daughter and she's like, oh, I gotta take a piss, so turn around or don't. Like, I don't care either way. And then she just starts pissing. And it's like, that's the side of noir this falls on. The noir I'm into. Like, if I were to even compare this
Is that piss in the sewer noir?
Right. But I mean, I'll go even further. It's like the heavy metal movie has a noir section with the cab driver and a woman in trouble. And even that just felt kind of cool. But this is just grimy. Like grimy.
It is, in fact, grimy.
And so he is grimy noir. And yeah, that's how I felt about him.
That's fair. Yeah, I know. I get it.
I like grimy
ahead.
noir. I like grimy noir. Because I've seen movies like that too, that they are like they're noir, but they're like it's kind of like not the straightforward, because that's what Black Sat is. It's a straightforward. The only thing that makes a difference isn't not even the situations, not even the way he actually executes and solves what he needs to solve, the conflict. The only thing that makes a difference is that he's a cat. Yeah. And that's like, I mean, you could read any like Raymond Chandler book and get that. Like the grimy makes a difference. The neo noir, your Lost Highways, bricks, like that's the thing that make it noir no matter what it is.
I will say, the furry aspect is awesome, but I think what I love about Black Sad is the look. The look has this really amazing feel to it, like the colors on the page. It's just that whole world. Like, even if there were people, the world that it brings you into, just like looking at it, and it's smooth and it's got that filter on it, and it's very slick. Like,
Yeah,
I said, it was slick
the thing is,
character.
you would like that whether it was noir or not.
Maybe, but the thing is, though, I like the noir setting. So,
Right.
Yeah, you could take it and make it not noir.
Right.
I like it when it is noir.
Yeah, because that's one of the things that keeps it from being different from every other noir thing. The look, the design, and that's. I mean, look, I like Black Sat too. I never read any. I didn't even play the video game. I just look at
a Black Sat video game.
Yeah, it's one of those, like, it's kind of like the Telltale games. Like I
Got
said.
it.
And I wanted to, but really, I just like looking at it. So I just look at art. I don't even read it. Yeah,
No, it's gorgeous art.
it is. It is, and that I mean, I could take that anywhere. But it's like this grimy noir, like it's the like you said, the other end of the spectrum for it, where it's like it's not the facade of you look at a movie like Blue Velvet, the facade of living in the suburbs and then having that griminess in morality in the underbelly, and then seeing the other side of it. This is just that like you're in the underbelly. Yeah. And to me, like, yeah, I kind of enjoyed that aspect of it.
Okay. No, I get it. Like, even as I was reading it, I'm like, I know Mo loves this. Like,
Yeah.
I can tell. And
Look, love is a strong word, but I did enjoy it a lot. Like the art really sold that griminess to me because, like, you look at a book like Fell, and you
Yeah.
could, it's a similar themes, similar content and story, and you compare it to this, and it makes Fell look really clean.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. I loved Fell.
Yeah,
I don't think I read that.
you read it.
You read it, yeah. It was a long time ago.
We reviewed it on the second episode of Fantastic Four.
Oh, you said the second?
Yeah.
Really? I didn't even realize it was that long ago.
Did I like it?
No.
It's Warren Ellis and Temple Smith.
I like both those people.
Not enough, Jay.
Not
as much as you love Duke.
He didn't use the orange as much, so the art looked a little like
right. It's more blue-green.
Yeah. He's googling. He's googling.
There is one panel. It's a blue-green panel, and it's one of the screens where I'm like, this doesn't work.
From the book.
Yeah.
From well, there you go. See? That's why you didn't like Fell.
Okay, this is the wrong one.
Oh, I'm about to say, like, that's a good panel. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, yeah, this is that I like. Like, the style works here.
Yeah.
Because that Temple Smith is cartoony, but it's just so gritty that the cartooniness gets lost. And especially in this book, you kind of see the cartoony, like the exaggerate. It's almost like it's like I would compare it to anime in a sense because the features are exaggerated depending on the mood.
I can see that.
And like, there's this page which doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
I thought it was
a girl picture.
Right. No, I was just about to say that, Jay. Like, I felt like that, like, it was very strange that they chose to put like a real picture there on that milk carton or some sort of, I don't know what that is. I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, it was the wrong choice.
I agree with you guys because when you actually see the girl that's in there,
right.
Like the missing girl, she looks nothing like that picture.
Well,
so
go ahead.
So when you see her, it's like, oh, that's the missing girl, with the reward, like, and it's like, no, that's not her. Like,
now, I'm not 100% certain, but I believe the picture on that carton is a different girl than the one that they find in the sewer.
Yeah, they mentioned that girls have been going missing.
Yeah.
And the one and the missing girl that we find, she didn't go missing until like around the time of the bombing. So she wouldn't have been on the milk carton yet.
All right. Well, look.
Yeah, but the girl, they do show the girl, and she doesn't look like that either. Because that's a real picture of like, it looks like Home Chick from Heroes to me. I was like, is that Hayden Panettiere? I was like, that's weird.
That's not going to say that.
Huh?
That's not how you say that.
Oh, I'm sorry. What's how you say her name?
Pinatar.
Like, I don't know how to say her name.
Did you say Pinatar?
Yeah, that's how it is. It's French.
It's French?
Yeah, it's French.
Got it. Listen, here's the messed up part. I know I said her first name right.
Yeah,
I don't think I'm that off of her last name.
You didn't say it.
I said Pantieri.
No, it's Harden. Harden Pinatar.
it's not Pantieri.
What is it, Jay?
I
Exactly.
It's like Pan.
It's Pinatar.
I know she doesn't have Panty in her name. Like
I didn't say Panty. I said Pantieri.
right, it does not. She does not have Panty in her name. Like no part of her name is Panty.
I need Hayden to call in to tell us how to pronounce her name.
Pantieri. There's no Panty in her name.
No.
Like, I know that for a fact.
Oh, we have a caller. Harden Pinatar. That's how you say it.
Real quick, Hexzilla in chat. Random question: did you guys know there's a Batman X Fortnite comic?
Yes.
A short answer is yes. A longer answer is I know Fortnite has been crossing over with a lot of shit. I don't see why Batman wouldn't be one of them. So I kind of just assumed.
I actually found it out, and much to my dismay, I was actually gonna make a blog and put it on its own website, a review of the comic called WhoGivesAShit.com. But the domain for WhoGivesAShit.com, because if I actually said like, oh, you can actually find my review on WhoGivesAShit.com, like it'd be fun to like hit that, and it takes you to the video. It's $14,000 for WhoGivesAShit.com.
I believe it. I believe it. Somebody's holding on to that. Like one day somebody's gonna need it. And I'm not mad at them because you're right. Like one day somebody's gonna pay them that money. And
look,
they got that site for like they're paying like what $2.36 a month for it, or $2.36 a year.
Most likely it's gonna be me buying it, and he's gonna. Did you find me on dumbshit.com? Okay, you know what? While we're at it, let me see if dumbshit.com is taken.
So, are we about to review or to score this?
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, it's definitely time. Definitely time. So Jay, why don't you go first, man? What would you give FishKill as a score?
2.5
out of 5.
I like the colors.
Got it.
Well, only the oranges and reds, like yellows.
That's hilarious. We'll take it. Most Magnum, what would you score FishKill?
Now, I it's gonna be a 3.75.
Got it.
Because I did enjoy it, and I want to read more. I didn't even read as much as Joe did, and he didn't like it. But I want to read more, and this Fogler universe within heavy metal I'm interested in. Even how it goes in terms of security and the forced inoculations. Like it's almost a little bit ahead of its time, almost in a sense. And the conspiracy theories and the people clamoring for this weird dark horse candidate or savior type. I want to see this played out. So it's definitely, I give it a 3.75 out of it.
Sounds good. Yeah, I unfortunately I got to give it a 3 myself, and I wanted to rate it higher. But it's I can't in good conscience, but I enjoyed it. And like the fact that there's other books in this universe I'm interested and I want to go read those, and I'm hoping that the story, like the narrative, is a bit more cohesive than in this one. But this book was like really interesting. It just doesn't come together, unfortunately. And like I will tell you, like a big part of it too was like, and you don't know this yet, Mo, but the fourth issue basically ends on a cliffhanger,
Mhm.
and it's not a great cliffhanger. Like
I
it,
agree.
it just stops, and it's just like, really? Like this is the end of book one, huh? Like, okay. And it's one of these things that's like, man, like as a person who enjoys stories and was interested in these characters and these events, just and was willing to overlook the plot holes even, it was like, okay, like I'm trying to go on this journey with y'all. And at the end of the day, when we get to the end of what is supposed to be book one, and it's like an unsatisfying conclusion, it's just like, dude, like what are we doing? Like, come on,
I don't know how
man.
that kid
So
got there.
say again.
I don't even know how that kid got there.
Look, there's a lot of that throughout the book, and that's the thing where it's like Dan Fogler. I'm not holding him responsible because I'm like, my man probably had a great idea and came up with some great characters and was like, help me write this. And I'm assuming the other person, which I didn't get to do the homework, so forgive me if this other person is maybe they're an actor too,
Do you
or
know
maybe
their,
writing's not what they do, huh?
Do you know their name?
Was it L Blum? L Bloom?
Oh yeah.
I don't like. It's not someone I'm familiar with in the world of comics. I'm just, I just know that generally speaking, when you have somebody that's like, hey, especially when you have like actors or musicians that want to break into comics, often they put a co-writer there to be like, hey, like I'm gonna be the person that helps you, like that guides you through the process because I'm the comic book person. And I don't know, like again, I'm not,
I
huh?
don't think he was a comic book person. I think it was like his childhood friend or something.
Maybe,
I think
and that could be the
just handed off.
say
Lawrence
what?
I think
Oh,
this just handed off.
is his first name Lawrence?
Yeah.
Look, why does he go by L? He's not proud of Lawrence? That's messed
No,
up.
it just said in the comic.
Oh, it says that in the comic?
Yeah.
Oh, I look, everything I saw said L Bloom. And so maybe I missed it, which is weird because, I would think Lawrence would stand out to me, but it didn't. So, either way, I was just like I wanted this, like I wanted to like this more. Like everything about it made me want to like it more. But especially when I got to the end of the first issue, and
You know what?
the first issue. I'm sorry, the end of the fourth issue, and I was like, man, y'all just left us hanging. Like that's like I'm not saying they had to like do the end game story, but like you got to leave people with a satisfying arc so they can be like, oh, okay, well, I get that the story's going to continue, but I felt like it was worth my while reading these four issues. And honestly, the ending of the fourth issue does not make you feel that way. It makes you feel like the story like got cut off in the middle or in the first third or something like that. And I'm like, that's weird because it's like there's a lot of interesting places it could have gone. And it doesn't like and it didn't go to any of them. And I'm like, well, I don't know. Like that's really strange. Like it's and like to the point where I was like, well, when does the next issue come out? And it turned out these fools aren't trying to release volume 2 until next year.
Well, it came out like it just came out. Like issue 4, I think, just came out like 2 months ago.
No, but no, I get it. I do know that it like I know that the latter two parts came out in 2021. I get it. What I'm saying is they're not trying. They gave me an unsatisfying ending, and then it doesn't come out. They're not trying to release the next issue until next year. Like what? 2022? Like what are y'all doing?
That's the dude that Lawrence Bloom is.
So he's an actor too, huh?
Yeah, and he was in Daredevil, and so yeah,
what was he in Daredevil?
It doesn't matter.
Oh.
No, like really, it doesn't matter. Like he should have quit Daredevil and done a good job on FishKill. Like it actually knowing that he.
Oh, he was like in the Daredevil, like the Marvel series.
Yeah, in Daredevil, the Netflix.
Okay. I don't know for whatever reason. Looking at him, he looked like he was in the Affleck Daredevil.
No, it was a Netflix one, but it says about all here he looks cool, and here he looks cool too, and here he's got a leather jacket, here he's got a big and it's like, all right, look, you know what? Maybe trying to be a movie star isn't your thing. Why don't you make good comics? Like it actually made me drop it a point. So 2.75 for FishKill.
Listen, I'm not gonna put all the blame on this guy. If he's an actor too.
Look. His friend is the successful one.
No, but I'm just saying. Then they have an editor, so it's the editor's job. Then the editor's the one that's messing up. Because I'm just saying, like, it should be somebody that knows comics should have been like, so y'all didn't do XYZ, or you may want to think about tightening up the ending for issue 4. Or I mean, I'm just saying, there's all these, like, I am not an editor. I'm just a person that loves reading comic books.
Yeah, so which is why I would pick you as my editor.
Well, look, I appreciate you saying that, but I'm just saying somebody that's an editor for comic books, whether they liked reading comic books before they started their job or got a knack for it after, at some point should be like, yeah, you got to do this a little different. And so I'm just saying, I'm not going to put it on the actors to know how to write comics. Somebody should know along the process. So I don't know. Somebody messed up, and unfortunately, it's like it makes it so that even though I want to give it more, I have to give it a 3 just because for the integrity of the medium, where I'm just like, yeah, like I like it, and that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like somebody will come along and read this and feel the way I felt, where it's like there's a lot of good stuff here, but it's not quite there. It's like one of those times where somebody that makes a movie would actually be elevating the source material as opposed to how they feel about everything else, right? Where it's like, you're lucky we made a Batman movie. It's like, no. Batman's like actually great. Like you're lucky you get to make a Batman movie.
I wish I was Dan Fogler's friend.
Yeah, look, I feel like you could be.
Yeah.
Like the two of you would jive.
Well, actually, we'd be rivals. Funny fat guys. Like, there's like no group can have 2 of those. We're like Highlanders. There can only be 1.
No, damn. Listen, I'm not sure. Does Dan know he's the fat guy?
Well, he's not fat anymore. He's actually.
Well, there
you
go.
We'll see.
All right. We should go to the next thing. What do y'all want to talk about next? Do you want to stick with comics since we already played the comics review?
Yeah. Let's do that.
Okay. It is.
I don't have a theme for Bad Batch.
Oh, we don't have the I guess those. Yeah, you're right. It's theater.
Yeah, it's movies based on comics.
Right. Okay. So yeah. Let's just go ahead and jump into Star Wars War of the Bounty Hunters, which I can go ahead and tell y'all real quick. War of the Bounty Hunters is basically, or I should say, Star Wars War of the Bounty Hunters Alpha, because that's important. is basically part of the latest Star Wars crossover, comic book crossover event. It stars, of course, the fan favorite bounty hunter Boba Fett. It's written by Charles Soule with art by Steve McNiven and has colors by Laura Martin. And it's basically the story of Boba Fett getting Han Solo and actually transporting Han to Jabba the Hutt. So we all know we all saw in Star Wars Empire Strikes Back that Han Solo gets frozen in carbonite and Boba Fett takes him away. And we all know that at the beginning of Star Wars Return of the Jedi that Han is in Jabba's palace. But what happens in between Boba getting Han and carbonite and him ending up at the palace? That's what this story basically entails. So, or this is part one, or well, I guess technically I think it's a prelude, but this is like the first major or the first prelude issue in the War of the Bounty Hunters. So, Jay, why don't you talk to us first and tell us what you thought of this issue? Give us a 60-second breakdown or 30-second breakdown.
It's Boba Fett doing this thing, pretty cool. Really good art. Like, they pay attention to the reflections and they use them to like really good effect.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you kind of just get a decent Boba Fett story of him like trying to get this bounty, trying to protect it, shit he's got to do to protect it, fighting. Yeah, look, just classic Boba Fett.
There it is. Right. Yeah, no, I hear that. I hear that. How about you, Mo? What was your thought on War for the Bounty Hunters or War of the Bounty Hunters Alpha?
So, I was weary about this Disney Marvel going into like this Star Wars stuff. That's it's groundwork that's been laid,
right?
For lack of a better term, and this one kind of goes in and I don't know if it's been laid. Like, I'm not even that like Star Wars guy,
Right.
Like, what happened when Han Solo was in carbonite, and for me, it's just from point A to point B, warp drive, boom, yeah, there you go. Sorry, I meant that's not warp drive. Warp drive is Star Trek. Light speed, yeah. There you are. So, engage. Take it slow. But yeah, it definitely like I'm like, oh shit, they gave you something in between that moment and that moment, and it's like, look, Steve McNiven art,
right?
I'm like, fuck, like how does this not get 5 stars? Yeah,
right,
yeah. Because who wrote it? Like, I know somebody good wrote it.
Charles Soule.
Yeah, look, yeah. You don't. You're not even a fan.
Son of a bitch! I hate you so much.
No, but yeah, he's good, and that's a given. And then hey, look, 5 out of 5.
Look, and I will say that I mean, dude, it. Oh, what were you gonna say, Cham? Sorry.
I wanted to interrupt Mo for just a second. Did you see the director's cut?
I did, but I don't think I got the full benefit of the director's cut.
Oh, you didn't?
Like, what did you see that I should have seen, even though I had the director's cut in my hand?
the line work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get to see that, but I had my own what would you say, executive producer stalker cut.
Hmm?
Because I follow Steve, I follow McNiven on Instagram,
Got you.
and I got to see his live videos where he's drawing this. It
That's
before
very awesome.
before the outline art you see. Yeah. So I knew, 3 months ago how good this thing was gonna be.
Dude, I mean, yeah, it's like it is really so that and you could put that up, Jay. Like, and don't worry, people don't need to see me.
Dude,
It's
people-
like, yeah, but the fact of the matter is that
Art.
Steve McNiven's art is so good, and
Look, it's the best his art has ever been, I think.
dude, it's definitely like up there as far as his work goes, and that's the thing. Like, it's not like Steve McNiven does bad work,
Right.
so
I don't think ever in the history of Fantastic Forum, maybe the history of comics, you ever seen, this Steve McNiven, I don't know, he's not like he used to be.
Right. No, I agree. Like,
he's saying that about a lot of people. And
absolutely.
Steve McNiven's
Absolutely.
not one of them.
People have off days, and they or they're less hungry, or they change their art style for expediency. And and listen, I'm not here to knock any of those people to be like, oh, for any of those reasons. Like,
Yeah, we're not talking about Ed McGuinness.
oh, see, I definitely wasn't talking about Ed McGuinness. Maybe you're talking about Ed McGuinness.
JR.
All I'm saying is comics are hard to make. And the art side is really tough. Like, telling stories in a sequential manner is not easy because it's like you're literally telling stories in pictures. And just to look at what Steve McNiven did in this issue, man, and this is actually Jay showing us stuff from the director's cut, so you can see the line work before we get the colors. Which, again, that's the other part where I was gonna say, like, I at this point I have to say, Laura Martin is definitely an unsung hero in this whole thing too, because her colors are amazing, and which as they should be, because she's been a superstar. Like, look,
for years.
She's so good. I know her maiden name. You know what I'm saying? That's how. Like, I remember when she was Laura Dupois or Dupois. I don't know how you say it, but I know what it looks like. I can spell it. Dupois. No, and I was just like, man, like, her colors are out of this world, man. And it's just like, this is like a crack. Like a friggin' all-star team they put together for this book. And I feel like, they did that on purpose because they're like, we want people to buy this, and then hopefully they'll be in on the rest of the event. Which I'll tell you right now, man, I didn't realize this going in, but in doing pre-production, this event is 34 books.
I saw that. That's what I did about the director's cut.
I was like 34 books. I can't even tell. Like, I didn't do enough pre-production apparently to be able to tell you across how many different titles. It's at least 4 or 5 of them. And but I will tell you that I do have, like, look, I can show you the books if you want to see them. But I'm just like, I was kind of blown away by this because I was not expecting this joint. Like, hold on, like, let me share my screen real quick, and I will show you all these books, and I was just like, for real? Like, wow. So look, so May 5th, right here, that's the book we're talking about right here, friggin' War of the Bounty Hunters Alpha. And then you had friggin' Star Wars come out with there was another Prelude issue. Then here, like today, Bounty Hunters came out, which is still another Prelude issue. Huh?
I'm already behind.
Oh, absolutely, my friend. You're already behind. And I got this one. I think I got this. I got the Star Wars one too. But then on the 26th, you have Vader and Dr. Aphra. And these are still prelude issues now. Then on June 2nd, we get War of the Bounty Hunters #1, Most Wanted. And I'm like, okay. And now we're going into the Bounty Hunters comic, which I didn't even know this comic book existed. This Star Wars comic book existed until this event, which is the whole point, right? Like, they want you to buy all these issues, which I think I am gonna buy because I'm interested in this event.
I read a few of them,
and so I was already buying Star Wars. I was already buying Darth Vader. I'm not currently buying Dr. Aphra, but I'm going to pick up Dr. Aphra for this event because and Dr. Aphra's say what?
Why'd you stop?
To be honest, what made me stop was when they changed the creative team when they went to the ongoing series, and the creative team for the ongoing wasn't as good as the miniseries team.
Okay.
So I stopped. And don't get me wrong, it wasn't like it was terrible. Like I remember, like we reviewed #1 of this ongoing series on the show, and it was a decent book, but it wasn't as good as the miniseries books. And so for me, I was just like, I like the character, but I don't necessarily need to be reading it. And but again, this is what crossovers are for, right? Hopefully, we'll increase sales by getting people that aren't picking up the books. They'll pick up all the books, and who knows, maybe they stick around. So we'll see what happens, because like I said, I haven't actually been reading Dr. Aphra, and so I'm going to pick it up now, and if the team's good enough, I might keep doing it. And so, but yeah, man, like basically, like as you can see, July 14th, you got War of the Bounty Hunters, you got friggin' Darth Vader, you got friggin' the Bounty Hunters, the Star Wars Bounty Hunters comic book. So all these books are coming. Like, I'm like, I don't know when this. They don't even know when this book's coming out. Goddamn, War of the Bounty Hunters, Jabba the Hutt. They're like, sometime. Look, they're just going into August. They don't have covers no more.
They know
they're into September. I'm like,
my God, we're getting a COVID variant around. Around
They mess around. The event's going so far into the future, they ran out of covers. They're like, we don't know when they're coming out. We don't know what the cover is. We don't know if that creative team is still going to be around. Look, so
comic.
Say what?
You're going to buy the Bosch comic.
The Bosch?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It's pronounced Bosk.
Bosk.
I still don't know what we're. Oh, you're talking about like the character.
Yeah.
Got it. You might be right, for all we know, because I'm sitting here like, these fools.
They showed it like #1. That's in September, I think.
God damn.
And you're right because it's part of this event. Huh?
Well. Here's what I'm gonna say to you right now. I'm not committing to hanging in there beyond to the TBA portion of this joint. Like, if this joint is still good, by the time we get to the TBAs, then we can talk about it then. like I'm not committed. Like, you all know me. Like, I buy generally every Marvel event book, whether I find it interesting or not. Like I bought War of Realms and read it begrudgingly. I was like, War of Realms wasn't worth it to me personally. It was all right. Most Marvel event books I usually buy and take it on good faith that I'm going to enjoy it, and that's usually the case. But every so often I get a clunker. I'm a Star Wars fan as far as movies are concerned, and as far as extended series are concerned. You know what I'm saying? Like Bad Batch, I was super excited for. And I like same thing with like Clone Wars, and I watched Rebels. Like mass media, I'm down for. And then I like the Star Wars comics that I'm reading right now. I really enjoy, whether you're talking about Star Wars or Darth Vader. It's like those are good books, but I don't have the kind of affinity for Star Wars where I'm like, oh, I'm definitely in on Bosk number one. Like, no, I'm not. I'm not. So what I'll tell you right now, and especially considering like here's the other part of it. It's like I don't have like I'm an X-Men fan, so I have no problem with ridiculously long crossover events. However, or I guess I won't say long. What I'll say is ridiculously number of comics events that like X-Men, the last X-Men, the Ten of Swords event went through every X-Men book that came out. And so I think it was 24 books, if I'm not mistaken. And 24 books is a lot of books. However, I was buying all those books already. And then on top of that, despite it being 24 books, I think Ten of Swords, like it all came out over the course of like 2 months, and that was it. Now, I don't know who's the editor-in-chief over at the Star Wars line, but when you're talking about starting an event in May, and we're talking about comic books coming out in October, I'm like, wait, how long is this goddamn war? I'm like, damn, is it the 100-year bounty hunter war? Like, why are these like? If I'm a fan that maybe is questioning whether I want to do War of the Bounty Hunters, but I'm already buying Star Wars and Darth Vader, I might be like, my God, like, why are they taking over my books for this long? Like, all this time, like, I gotta read War of the Bounty Hunters till Christmas. I'm like, come on, man, like that's crazy. Look. So I don't know, man. This is look. What I can tell you right now is it better be good, because if it's not good, we got a problem.
So I'm vowing now.
Mo vows.
Because I just texted Mike at Atomic Basement.
Nice.
My pull list is all War of the Bounty Hunters. I'm getting every book. We're reviewing Alpha here. I'm sure we'll do Omega. Maybe we'll do something in between. But if you're a subscriber, you might get the whole bunch in your mailbox.
Oh, got you. Okay, listen, because that's amazing.
Yeah.
If you send a listener every book from War of the Bounty Hunters, 34 books, come on, man.
Look, the whole series, the whole event, single issues, in good condition. I don't have anywhere to store them, but I want to be the dude that buys every book on Wednesday. Like, this is like, I feel like I felt during Civil War. Yeah. Larry, you were there with me. You'd show up at the like, let's go to the comic shop. Let's go. Yeah, buy everything. And, and look, this is why Mike was beating off already, because he knows, I'm going for war. But once I'm there,
I'm gonna buy other stuff.
I'll buy T-shirts. I'm gonna buy
right.
So yeah, war in the door.
I'm gonna tell you right now, you have to remind Mike in the middle to keep this on your pull list, because this joint's too long. At some point, look, I'm not. He'll have the best of intentions. He gonna definitely try to make sure he keeps up with it every month, or every week. But damn, like I was shocked. I was like, damn, this many issues. Like,
I was looking at all the issues and the covers and the art and the talent.
Yeah,
fine. I didn't see not one white cover.
Wow, that's interesting.
Now, if he gets me all of them on my pull list as a white cover, then listeners ain't getting shit.
That's too funny, man. It's really wild, just because. And here's the thing: like, you just going back talking about Civil War, which was ironically enough also McNiven.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Mo, like. You all know, again, like I mentioned, I'm the Marvel guy. Like, when Marvel has an event, I'm gonna buy the event books. I'm gonna buy a lot of crossovers. But Civil War was like they had some ridiculous crossovers where I'm like, dude, I'm not buying that. I don't need that. Mo bottom.
Have them all.
And I was like, Mo, are you sure, man? Are you sure?
Look,
Like-
I bought a collegiate textbook because it said Civil War on it.
There it is. So yeah, it's hard. Mo was hardcore with it, and I was like, Mo, dude,
And
I'm
Larry,
telling you, like, you don't need to buy all these joints.
I remember Larry and I going into the Heidi like, Larry, you got all games ready, right? Like, yeah, we just have to hit record. We have to hit stream, and we're good. All right, let's go to the comic shop real quick before Ron leaves. We drive over. I get everything Civil War, and then I got like a bunch of other shit. So Mike's gonna be happy. He might retire.
Yeah, there it is. God bless him. Couldn't happen to a better guy.
Yeah.
So, so okay. So, I mean, the story of this book is basically Boba trying to, like, he has Han and Carbonite. The Carbonite's not working the way that it's supposed to. And basically it starts degrading. And because it's degrading, he's like, I got to stop and get somebody to fix this, or else Han's not going to make it to Tatooine for Jabba. And in the course of him having to do that, he has to, does he, what planet does he stop on? It's not Dathomir, right? No, it's not Dathomir.
No,
I can't remember.
Dathomir.
No,
I don't know which planet. Like, that's one of the things I'm actually pretty bad at.
You're bad at
remembering the different.
Oh, which planet? Okay, I don't remember which planet it is, but he stops at a planet, and the dude basically is like, hey, I can fix this, but you got to pay me, and Boba's like, hey, I ain't got the cash right now, but I promise you fix this. As soon as I drop this fool off to Jabba, I'll pay you triple your rate. And he's like, nah. He's like, nah. But if you can't pay me in cash or in credits, you couldn't handle this for me. And basically sends Boba on a mission to assassinate a person of interest to this individual. And, I mean, that's basically what the book's about, him trying to kill this person. And it's like, I tell you, man, I was like, damn, like, this is a cool ass, well-crafted story. Like, just like it's a complete story just in and of itself, and still gives you like the ending where you're like, oh, I need to know what happens next.
Yeah.
And
I love that. I love that Chuck Soul.
Y'all cool like that now? You get to call him Chuck?
Yeah,
When I talk to him, he's always like, no, Charles, man, Charles.
Well,
Oh, go ahead, Chuck Sewell.
It's called white privilege. I'm glad that he reads Saga, because this book feels like something that would happen in a Saga book, like, and Saga, like, it's like the Star Wars that gives you the nitty gritty,
Yeah.
So the Star Wars book giving you the nitty gritty would feel like a Saga book, but you can't get to Saga without Star Wars. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I know exactly what you mean. What about you, Jay? How did you feel about like the actual, like, we know you liked the art, but how did you feel about the story?
No, I liked it. Like, I thought it was good. Like, they had a good reason for everything that was happening, and it really did feel like a classic Boba Fett story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, the story was really good.
Yeah.
Like, and I say that really good. I don't mean like spectacular or mind blowing and like I've never seen that before.
Right.
I mean, it's classic Like it
Yeah.
feels really good, like a Boba Fett. It feels exactly how a Boba Fett story should
Right.
feel.
Like just super solid.
Right.
Yeah. No, I'm right there with you, and I agree 100%. Like Charles Soule has a very good
Grasp.
bead, yeah, a grasp of what this character's story or what stories involving this character should feel like, and what the flow and the pacing of it should be. And like even the voice, like I just kind of feel like, I felt very much like I was hearing Boba speak when I read this book.
Even you can see the cadence.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
he's a man of few words, and this is
Mhm.
like one of the stories that requires him to express himself, and it's
Mhm.
still in a few words. It's just a few,
Right.
but it's still a few words.
Right. And also too, I will say that I really like have to give I guess it's to give both, like, I guess Marvel and Lucasfilm and slash Disney, props, because
Say Disney.
well, I'm just saying, obviously this is the kind of thing where they're trying to like capitalize on the popularity or the resurgence of popularity in things like The Mandalorian, and of course, they put Boba Fett in it as well. And it's just like, this is like this is obviously the reason why Boba Fett's at the center of this event. However, none of it feels like forced or feels like a cash grab. Like it's obvious, like that's why they're doing it. They're like, oh, people love Boba Fett, and the Mandalorian's super hot right now, and Mandalorians are the it thing. So let's make sure we take advantage of this opportunity. But none of it feels like they're overdoing it. And just the fact that it, like, you can know it intellectually, like that's what they're doing, but it doesn't feel like that when you read the stories or when you're watching the shows. It's like, man, like good for them. Because I'm just saying it's not hard to like overdo. It's like, in fact, I feel like there's other people that do less in trying not to make it feel that way and still somehow manage to make it feel that way. Whereas like it's sad because it's like I guarantee you, like there's not like somebody else that could put out a 34 part story in comics for something and you'd be like, you know what? Like, I mean, 34 by itself would make you just be like, oh, I'm out.
Right.
But I read
it.
this and I was like, I'm in for now, at least, which is like, I feel like that in and of itself is an achievement.
If you think about it, if you divide 34 into like what, 5 books, that's what. I don't have my calculator.
Oh, you want me to divide 5 into 34? Oh, well, 5 into 35 is 7.
Like 7, yeah.
Oh, that's
so
6.2 books.
All right, yeah, and
that's a lot of books, though. That's
so
half a year.
That's like 6 movies.
No, it's not like 6. I mean, well, okay, if you're talking time wise, I guess, because if you're like a comic's like 20 minutes,
Yeah.
I guess you're right.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I'm just saying, like, there's not a lot of things that I like. Even like, for instance, as an X-Men fan, like I'm used to big crossovers. Like the biggest crossover I can think of off the top of my head for X-Men books is probably Executioner's Song. Executioner's Song was still like, and that's way back in the day. I'm sure somebody's watching this show like, what is Executioner's Song? Go look it up. Like,
I'm surprised they haven't rehashed it.
Look, give it time. I mean, look, or You know, I like, but anyway, that's a whole nother thing. But Executioner's Song, through all the X books, went 4 issues. So for 4 months, every X book was Executioner's Song. And at the time, I'm pretty sure
12
it was right. It was 12 parts, right? Because there was only 4 X books at the time. And so, but at the time, people were like, "Damn, this is gonna take over all the books for 4 months are gonna be Executioner's Song." Because I mean, when you think about it, it is literally like, I mean, I guess a book came out for the most part every week, but it's like that was 4 months, and people were at that time were like, "Man, that feels like a lot." Look, like I said, they did 10 of Swords, they did 20, they did 24 issues for that joint. Oh, but they did it over the course of like 6 books, and it was done in 2 months.
I go back to like, because yeah, you know, it's a big event, but X books, because you know, you didn't read these because you're not an X-Men fan like I am, but there's a time when you had your Uncanny, your X-Men, and then you had your I don't know if it was Astonishing. There were like 2 other superlatives book, and they each had their event going on at the same time. Like you had Emperor Vulcan on one, and then you had the Cable, like Search for Cable in the other. And then, you know, and it was all top tier talent across all these 4 books. And it went on. It was four sagas that they didn't even like interact fully, but you could tell they were connected.
Right.
And it's like, dude, I gotta read all of these. And
I agree.
Like it was all Vertigo people writing X-Men books. So I'm like, I'm in. And it happened at the same time as Civil War.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, man.
Imagine if I was a Cosmic Marvel fan. Because Annihilation was going on at the same time.
Dude, so good.
Like,
Such a good
time. I had all my money.
Mo would have been homeless with a whole bunch of comics. Like a little shelter made out of books.
You know, you could burn those for heat.
Like they would have all been friggin' CGC graded though, so that means it was sturdy. The shelter was actually worthwhile.
I could throw them at like people trying to rob me.
There it is.
So are we ready to rate this book?
Listen, I think we got to go with Moses first because he already rated it.
Yeah, 5 out of 5, man. Like, look, you can experience this if you subscribe, hit the bell, and like. That's all you need to do to qualify. Because I'm gonna buy all these books, and I'm just gonna give them out because I have no place to put them. I have no business buying physical books, but I'm gonna do it anyway for you, the listener. Herbie,
Jay, what would you rate Star Wars: War of the Bounty Hunters Alpha?
I would give it a 4 out of 5. Like it's really good, really solid, great art, great story, really great.
There it is. Yeah, I got to give it a 5 out of 5 too. Like, because I mean, it's an amazing comic, just in and of itself. As far as just, you know, I mean, it has a top-notch writer, top-notch like penciler, top-notch colorist. But more than that, it feels like Star Wars. And I think that's the part of it where it achieves the most, where it's like, if you like Boba Fett and you read this book, you're going to be like, oh, dude, this is like, you know, there's a part of you that's going to feel like, why wasn't this a TV show? Or why wasn't this a movie? And, you know, who knows? Like, it very well might, when we get Book of Boba Fett, you might see a scene from this comic brought to life. Who knows? You know? So we'll see. But like, honestly, and on top of that, there's definitely like some like small Easter eggs in the book here and there that is just like, you know, like, dude, I mean, they give you like a small prequel Easter egg. You know, come on, man. Like, if somebody if somebody takes the time to shout out the prequel fans, like, you know that's somebody that's like really like in the lore the way they're supposed to be. So yeah, it's good stuff. You should check out the book, and you can decide from there if you're gonna try to be in for 34 issues. Yeah.
Cool.
Cool indeed. All right. We should go ahead and I guess talk about Star Wars The Bad Batch. And I know like Mo mentioned, or like I don't remember who mentioned it, but we technically don't have a TV theme. So unless you want to sing something, Jay, I guess I'll just go into it.
I almost did. I almost was like about to start singing, and then I was like, man, Joe, you're not that gone yet.
Dude, see, this is what happens when we don't get you on that popcorn early enough.
Right.
Get you on that popcorn. You would have been singing. Jay almost sung a new theme song, Mo.
Yeah. Look, he has a whole album that we could have used as theme songs, and somehow he chose not to release it through us.
Dang, Jay, we're supposed to be a distribution. All right, so Star Wars: The Bad Batch. It's the new Disney Plus series. It spins out of the final season of the Clone Wars and was created by Dave Filoni. The show basically follows Clone Force 99, which is an elite team of clones that are considered defective, but that all have desirable mutations. And they're basically making their way through the galaxy right at the point where Order 66 comes through. And that's basically what the show is about.
And thank God they didn't make us wait long for that.
Oh, for Order 66 to happen?
Yeah.
Yeah, and for those that may not know Order 66 or may not know it by that name, Order 66 is basically the order that Emperor Palpatine gives to the clone troopers that makes it so that they turn on their Jedi generals. So it's basically like the official order that started the Jedi Purge.
It's also what Karl Rove told Dick Cheney to do for the Patriot Act.
Dang. He's like, release Order 66.
But that's a whole different shit.
Indeed. So the Bad Batch, Mo, what did you think of the Bad Batch? Just give me your short take.
Look, you might only get just the tip, just a short take, because my godsons are graduating today, so I have to be going soon. But
oh, dude, I'm sorry to hear that. Okay, got it.
But really, this is it. It's like Joe said, we didn't have to wait for Order 66. Like, I remember watching it, the premiere, and being like, man, this is gonna be interesting as fuck when we get to Order 66. Oh shit! Everything that I had as a criticism was like, man, they're gonna draw this out to get me to get my subscription. It happened in the first episode. Fucking amazing.
Shit, in like the first 15 minutes.
Exactly, and then from there it was all hilarity ensuing and fun. Yeah. And, but all these characters, and even like you go to like the 5th episode of Clone Wars, you start seeing in these clones are clones, and they're expendable heroes. They're just to quote Metallica, disposable heroes essentially for this cause, and then they have no identity. And then they start developing it as Clone Wars goes. And look, I'm not a Clone Wars guy like that. I'm like Larry with G.I. Joe. Like, yeah, like that's how I am with Clone Wars. Like, I love it. I watch that shit on shuffle because I don't have time to just sit there and watch everything. But I know enough to know that these clones, like their individuality, their little nicknames and shit comes into play. And then watch it come to fruition with the Bad Batch, like all that groundwork being laid there. to make you, the viewer, give a fuck about the Bad Batch.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
not no fine crafted whiskey, no Papio Daniels, nothing could have give you that complexity in flavor and taste with the Bad Batch. It's fucking amazing. 5 out of 5. 5 mismatched clones out of 5. That's really all it is. Like, I can't say anything more. It's been an enjoyable experience. It's been one of those things like 2021. Look, I'm glad COVID wrecked a good chunk of the world because we got Invincible, we got Bad Batch, you know, we got this sardonic take on establishment, whether it's, you're the insurrectionist or the guy just trying to like eke out a living.
Right.
You're getting this in this media. You don't even know it yet. You're gonna know it when your fucking grandkids go to college.
Right.
The shit they're gonna be studying. This anti-establishment, but working within it's the perfect storm for creativity right now. I thought it was gonna happen with punk rock or metal. Some of it did, but not. It's happening in fucking Star Wars and comic book adaptation shit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't want to derail you guys, but there's a new trailer for Sweet Tooth, which is amazing.
Oh.
It throws out my YouTube video that's up here somewhere. Like, any complaints I had there, they're addressed here in this new trailer.
Wow.
But yeah.
Wow. It's good stuff, man. It's good stuff. Jay, what you think?
Well, I thought it was great. Like I said, Order 66 comes fast. Not a huge fan of the child entry point.
Right.
Because they don't really do anything interesting with it yet. Like,
right.
I feel they will. Mm-hmm. But so far, it's just kind of super cliche.
Yeah, it's the part that makes you feel like it's a kid's show.
Right.
Or kids are a part of the audience.
Right. Like the Burning People Alive kind of reminds me that it's not really for kids. But yeah, like they have this clone called Omega, and she's a little girl, and she's like tagging along. And she's fine for the most part. It's just yeah.
Why you pick that picture?
I mean,
come on.
All right, I could find a better one.
No, it's okay. Leave it. Look, that's what she looked like.
It's not like they put their top tier people to design that kid. Like, it's generic kid design. Like, but I do feel, Joe, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, like, they actually even tease you, like, oh, they're going to get rid of the kid this episode. And then they don't, like, so it's like they know what they're doing with this fucking kid,
Yeah.
Which elevates that aspect of having this kid entry point character,
no, the way they did it, though, was cliche. Like, I knew what was going to happen. Like,
right.
There was like 1% of me that was like, well, maybe they'll break tradition and be original. And no, she's back. And I mean, she's not useless, which is good.
Right.
And what's even better is there's a reason she's not useless.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of times you put a kid character in and they're useful for no reason at all.
Mm-hmm.
They're just useful for some reason. Like,
right.
No, she has a reason why she's useful.
Mm-hmm.
And that was good. And I don't hate her, which isn't always the case. So I can look past it for now. Because I do have faith they're going to do something interesting with her. And until we get there, we're actually getting some really good Star Wars stories.
Right.
Revisiting, I can't remember the deserter's name, but that story was amazing. It's like, and I love his attitude, how like he's super cool until it comes to like him getting caught. Like
Yeah.
when he's like when the Bad Batch offers him a ride off planet, and he's like, "No, you guys are wanted men. Like I can't deal.
Right.
Like, I have to protect mine. Like that's
Right.
too much risk." Like,
Right. His family.
right.
Yeah. That's why Oz isn't here today.
And the way the actor just emotes that too was like really good. Like you could hear the panic.
And this fool plays all those people, right? Like all the people that sound like clone troopers. He
Right.
plays all of them.
I believe so.
That's crazy. Because it's like they all feel different, but they all sound the same.
Right.
And it's mind blowing. Like it's such good work. But yeah, man, I feel like I obviously Dave Filoni created these characters with the intention of them being spun off, which again, this is like kind of a credit to Lucasfilm and to Disney, because how many times have we seen something where you're like, oh, they're making these characters because they want to try to, give them their own show or something. And from the jump, you're like, well, that's what they're there for. And they're not good enough for that. And you're like, when the show comes, like, I'll watch it, but it's not going to be good. And, it's like, and I will tell you, like, I remember watching the Bad Batch in the Clone Wars season. And I was like, oh my God, I love these guys already. Like, I need toys. In fact, ironically enough, two of my figures showed up today.
Can I still get them or no?
You could probably find them, but you could probably find them. But
you didn't think you had to order me a set?
You said order you? You want me to order you a set?
No, you didn't think ahead, like early on.
No, listen. I don't know that you were smart enough to like them.
You're a bad producer, man.
I'm just saying, man. Listen, I wasn't like as far as I knew, you would have been like, oh, Disney cash grab. So I didn't know.
I'm okay with it. Like,
but that's the whole point, where it's like, again, intellectually, we all know what they're doing, but they're doing it so like that. They're doing it so artfully.
It works.
That it's like, it's right. It's like, no, but it's like, I know what you're doing and I still want it. And it still feels 100% awesome. And then they did the spinoff show and I'm watching episode 1 and I'm like, oh my God. Like, I'm like, it's Kanan. I'm like, yay, Kanan, young Kanan. And I'm like, dude, that's so awesome. Like, it's so cool. I love it. I'm done. 6 out of 5.
My experience was slightly different in the fact that I did not like the Bad Batch episode.
Really? What did you like about it?
I don't know. Something about them just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But I'm still looking forward.
It's the Rambo headband?
I don't think that was it. But I was still looking forward to this show because I enjoy the world of the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Did I say that right? Clone
you
Wars.
Did.
I enjoy being in that world. And I assume that the stories would be good, even if the characters weren't.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say the characters are starting to grow on me. Actually, very quickly, they started growing on me.
Yeah, man.
Look,
I'm trying to figure out what happened, what went wrong in that first episode. I don't know. Like, I think it was you, Jay.
You
must not have. Yeah, man. You might not have eaten enough popcorn or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It might have been me.
But hey, that's fair. Like, I mean, listen, you like it now, so.
I was sure I was gonna like it. Like,
yeah.
I mean, people. Like, I got a fair amount of faith in Dave Filoni.
Yeah. And
I really enjoy Clone Wars. So to be going back to that,
right?
It's like, yeah, I'm in.
Right.
Although I hear Dave Filoni also did Resistance, and apparently that's not great.
I've watched Resistance, and it's definitely not of the same caliber. It's not like it's terrible, but it's just not as good.
What the game show thing?
No, the animated series.
Oh,
More kid-friendly one.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
but that one was like for network too, though. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like it is what it is, right? This like that's what you get when it's not on a streaming service, I guess.
I mean, I think it was the younger slant because even just the first seasons of Clone Wars before they were streaming,
That's
were
true.
like pretty raw.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So
And
who
yeah,
knows?
this continues it. Like, they do have a scene where they're like going after, like a squad is going after insurgents, and I'm like, you guys have to do this, right? Like, you guys have to finish the mission, and then they do, and I'm like, yeah, that's awesome. Like, those people are terrible. I can't wait till they get theirs.
Yeah.
That's how you're supposed to feel. It's like,
Right. It's war.
although I didn't like that one guy that they ended up killing. Like, I was glad he got killed.
Okay.
He was an ass. Like, even though he was like a good guy, kind of ass, he was still
Yeah. Yeah. So okay, cool. I mean, look, obviously, like we talked about like the story, we talked about I guess we didn't talk about the animation in and of itself. Do y'all have anything in particular you want to say about the actual animation?
Yeah, it's Clone Wars.
Right.
Like, if you saw Clone Wars, you've seen this.
Yeah.
As far as the animation.
Yeah.
This is a little more refined, but because I don't know, maybe because of the subject matter or the themes they deal with, I feel they pay a special attention to lighting, and that really like it's part of why I give it 5 out of 5 because the mood, like they cannot say anything and you're just looking at them, and that frame of picture just gives you that satisfaction of watching it. Yeah.
It's definitely very cinematic, and don't get me wrong. It's like if you go to like season 1 of Clone Wars, technically, yeah, the animation is better in this than season 1 of Clone Wars. But
right.
But I like
if you're
the
talking,
backgrounds.
Say again.
I like the earlier backgrounds.
Like okay.
Painted look.
Oh, I got to go back and look. Yeah.
Like when you see like a planet in the background, like you could see like the paint strokes.
Oh, shut up! Really?
Yeah, like it's pretty cool.
It's almost like they did it in green screen, but CGI. So like they did everything. They made a green screen, like matte painting of everything, and then and here you get that painted look, but you can tell it's not. It's kind of like a hybridization, which ultimately is more immersive into the storytelling. It's just what they had to do, scheduling wise back then.
Right. But basically, I was gonna say, like, if you compare it to the final season of Clone Wars, it is basically like the quality of animation that you're getting from the last season of Clone Wars. This is basically the natural continuation of that. So, if you like the last season of Clone Wars, you're gonna like this just as much, if not more, I think.
Real quick, if I could side rail all of us for a quick second. Speaking of last season of Clone Wars, you guys ever like wonder about what would have happened if Ashoka became Darth Maul's student?
Oh, dude, I do. Like, I would totally love to see like that, like, that movie. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be so amazing. Like,
she would be a badass Sith.
I know, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm still on like season 2 of Clone Wars, so I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, dude, you gotta watch it, Mo. It's so good.
I gotta do a lot of things. Like, luckily, I just finished Gilmore Girls all the way, So that frees up some time. But what the fuck's so funny?
No, it's funny because it's Gilmore Girls and you're watching it. Like, that's the joke.
Oh, freaking joke.
I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know. So
I know I have to watch Gilmore Girls, but I haven't watched Charmed yet, so I'll get around to it.
I just started Dawson's Creek, so
oh,
Dude, and people have been saying that's making a resurgence. Like,
yeah.
doing
Hey,
a
look,
reshoot.
it's like Dawson's. I don't know who's a bigger piece of shit, either Dawson or Zach Morris, but yeah, I'm not watching Dawson's Creek. like
Mo, what are you rating? Friggin' Star Wars: The Bad Batch.
5 faulty neural implants out of 5.
Fair. Jay, what are you rating Star Wars: The Bad Batch?
I'm gonna give it a 4.5 out of 5. Like, I need to see them actually do stuff with Omega before it gets a 5.
That was one of the questions I wanted to ask you guys, but I'll wait till Larry gives his rating. That way you can just edit it.
5 out of 5. All right, what's the question, Mo?
Where do you guys think? Like, what do you think her genetic malfunction is? Like, I think she might be a little bit of a Force user.
That's the popular theory.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, yeah, and that's lame.
She hasn't showed any traits like they would have, like at her stage. She also didn't get like grown quick and develop fast either.
Mm-hmm.
She's more on that Boba Fett line,
Mm-hmm.
which means that they can go 10 seasons before we see anything. Yeah.
I forget what they call it, but I think she's like Taskmaster or Finesse.
I think
Mm.
that would make sense.
Okay.
Like, you see it, and part of it is like just when you look up to someone, you copy them to do what they do.
Yeah.
You see her like, modeling her actions after
the
lead guy, and picking up a blaster and being able to shoot. Like, she's probably seen that tons of times.
But even like her going with that moon dragon and like kind of empathizing with it.
Yeah.
The Jedi.
That's kind of a Jedi thing,
Yeah, animal. What is it? Animal friendship
or magnetism or something, like something like that. Yeah.
Look, I mean, both of those are. I mean, they're both good theories, and
how awesome was that? Like Empire Strikes Back, like homage for that episode too. Like
go ahead.
No, like it was like almost shot for shot, like everything, and it's like they're like for 30 seconds, I'm like, these motherfuckers can't even think of an original shit. They're just making them Empire Strikes Back, and it's like, and I'm enjoying every second of it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I don't know, man. I'm like, I mean, I feel like force powers. Not only is that too easy of an answer, but it like, how do they mimic, or how would they accidentally create a force user through cloning? And I guess maybe they could know, about midichlorians, but I don't feel like
when you think
this
about
show's not going to do that, right? They're not going to be like, oh, it's actually midichlorians, right? Like, that would be a bad look, right? So I feel like they're not going to do that. So then, if they're not going to do that, I feel like the photographic like reflexes makes more sense.
when you think about like them being in line with the clones and maybe
Mhm.
extract DNA of midichlorian
Right.
dense people, like they can kind of like fiddle with it, or
Yeah.
it's a genetic marker thing, like just
Yeah.
human genome project, like just flip the switch.
You might very well might be right, and it very well might be a thing where it could be like Dave Filoni could be trying to pull like a Dan Slott. Let
Mhm.
me like fix it. Let me make it cool.
Yeah,
So that it can be like it's still like the idea can still exist, but we'll fix it so that it doesn't mess up the larger canon. And that would be a very brave thing for him to try to do. But I will tell you, man, I feel like the very like concept of midichlorians rubs a lot of Star Wars fans the wrong way, and it's you got to do that joint like picture perfect.
I mean, once they lose their virginity, they'll be all right.
So listen, I'm not sure if vagina's that powerful. Like, not if we were talking about Trekkies, it'd be different. But these are Star Wars fans. It's a whole different thing. They're like, what? Look, nah. So, yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Do we want to do news or do we want to get out of here?
I think we probably should get out of here, actually. Unfortunately, but unless is there any major news that any of you feel like we should really just mention right now?
I mean, they
Otherwise,
should Riddler like design for the new Batman movie. It's
I
nothing
haven't
great.
seen it.
Like it's nothing like he just looks like a gimp.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That feels like it fits the character.
Yeah. And
When I think Riddler, I definitely think Gimp.
it was funny. One of the Twitter comments was like, I don't get why people are mad that he doesn't have a cane or a question mark costume. Like, it's Batman hasn't been Batman for like more than a few years. It's like I felt compelled to comment, and they called me a troll, and they're trying to
They called me a troll.
like, it just doesn't look like Riddler.
And listen, that's
it.
a perfectly valid criticism to
It's
me.
like Batman has only been Batman for a few years. He looks like fucking Batman. Catwoman has been Catwoman for about a year. Looks like fucking Catwoman. James Gordon is whatever he is. Look, he's black. He still looks like James Gordon.
That's true.
Riddler don't look like fucking Riddler. Riddler
Right.
looks like he's gonna fuck your mother when your dad's asleep, and they're gonna force you to take pictures.
So they did like the body stocking costume?
They gave him like not even a body stocking. Like he's got paneled like leather mask, like a mankind mask, and it covers like his mouth. Like
We don't know what the Riddler looks like then.
I mean, we know Paul Diano and not the original Iron Maiden singer, the guy from Little Miss Sunshine. Like, it's him, but I mean, he could be a good Riddler. Like him in a domino mask, wearing all green, with no question marks or no cane, would look like Riddler. But you get somebody like that, and then cover him up with like duct tape and a gag. Like, yeah, that's not the business. Like, it just doesn't look like Riddler. That's all the short of it. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna be mad because it's DC. DC puts out shit. Like they pay people premium, talented ass people to be in it to put out shit. Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. But then the new leak is like concept art, and it actually like shows you all the paneling where the duct tape fits the other duct tape.
Oh no, looks more like Hush.
That's kind of what it looks like, but it's Hush but green and leather.
Like a bad Hush.
Yeah. So and it's like I get it. Like everybody loves Hush. Just put Hush.
Does everybody love Hush?
Yeah, well they do because they put they turned whatchamacallit. They did Mask of the Phantasm had the Phantasm, right? The Telltale games had the a phantasm-ish type of person, and then they turned the Penguin into Hush. So it was like him, like the Penguin with the like pandemic mask, like, and that's what made him a penguin. Was that bird mask, that pandemic Black Plague doctor type thing? And that's what made him. But his whole origin was a Hush, and then we saw like what they did the Hush movie, and people like Hush. They like the idea of Hush. Just
I don't
you,
like that movie though.
right? But the thing is, people want to do Hush. Do Hush. You don't need to make it the Riddler. You don't need to make it the Penguin. Just do Hush.
Okay.
I mean,
says, I got news. James Patterson is putting out The Shadow book.
The Shadow? What does James Patterson know about The Shadow?
If I didn't give a fuck about the guy doing Mage and Grendel doing The Shadow, I'm not going to give a fuck about James Patterson.
Is that it, Mo?
Yeah, that's it. But I mean, that's not the leaked picture, but yeah, that's like fan, like Boss Logic.
Oh, there's your question mark.
Yeah, that's because that's Boss Logic.
That's hilarious. Yeah. Boss Logic's like, I fixed it.
Yeah. But that's essentially what it is, and it's like that's. And at this point, it's like, you know what? I'm preparing myself to like enjoy Sweet Tooth.
Okay.
And it's like, all right, look, it looks like that. All right, let's see what he acts like. Yeah, because he can look at that and still be like the best Riddler ever.
Right.
And then it's like, all right, there we go. I'll save my judgment for when I see it. But it still doesn't look like. In the new Sweet Tooth trailer, like it came out, and the dude that plays Jeopard, like he's in it more, and it looks like he looks cool in it. He still doesn't look like Jeopard, yeah, like how it was like Jeopard to look. But it's okay. It actually they show acting scenes with him interacting with Sweet Tooth, and it looks like it's gonna be okay. There's a scene where Sweet Tooth is running out of a tunnel, which is like, it looks like that scene in that issue that really like is one of the greatest moments in comics of all time. Comics of all time. And the way they showed it, I'm like, oh fuck. Emily knows, like, once we see something and I get emotionally uncomfortable, I start cleaning. Like, she's like, why are you dusting? Why are you dusting? All of a sudden, I decided to fold my laundry. Yeah. Yeah. So that second trailer. Oof. I'm not making a YouTube video of that. I can't edit out my tears.
Nor should you, friend. Nor should you.
I have to. I'm a man.
Okay. Feel what you feel, Mo.
Yeah. That's all I got for news.
Okay. All right, cool. Well, hey. Jay has something. Oh, this is new Sweet. The end.
Boogie.
It's okay. Listen, we don't want to get struck anyway.
Yeah, they show a lot more acting performance. Some of they probably watched my video where I said that they didn't show enough of the grittiness of this post-apocalypse, and they show you a good amount. It don't look like Jeff Lemire's art, but it looks post-apocalyptic-y.
Okay, cool indeed. All right, well, shoot. Let's go ahead and we'll wrap up for this week. Come on, man.
What? The screen's at an angle. I can't see it. Like it got a no glare screen protector, so I have to really like.
Hilarious. Jay, give us some final thoughts, buddy.
So they basically fixed whatever was going on with the Amphibia season finale. Matt Riley said it's coming out the way it was meant to come out. There's going to be a content warning in front of it, which is making people think the scheduling error or the scheduling thing had something to do with censorship, and them fighting back against that. And yeah, we'll get that this weekend.
Cool. Moses Magnum, final thoughts.
We got content coming. Like we're gonna wake up to the sweet, soothing feeling of Oz's package tomorrow morning. So if you hit subscribe, like that's coming at you tomorrow morning. I'm gonna be handling Oz's package sometime this weekend. So we're gonna get that. Yeah. We got Hereditary. Like it's according to one of our commenters, the whole video is a cinematic masterpiece. So guess what? Larry's gonna get scared again, and he's coming for a haircut tomorrow. so look, put in the comments whatever you want Larry to watch next.
Other Lily.
I might just do that.
Other Lily, you. Yeah. Supposed to be my friend. For the entire Fantastic Forum, thank you all so much for hanging out with us. We do appreciate you. We'll be back next week. Just let us know what it is that you do want to see, even if it is me watching scary movies. But if it's not, hopefully it's like, about comics or like comic book movies or like games and such. But either way, whatever you want to see, talk to us. Let us know. We'll make it happen. We hope to see you live in the coming weeks. If not, just keep on letting us what you like, what you don't like. We're the Fantastic Forum. We'll be back next week. Until then, be good to yourself and to each other.